Hi, everyone. I'm Gordon, a partner at the Legal Tech Fund. Today on In Studio, I'm joined by Katherine Allen, co founder and CEO of Flo. Legal recruiting has been one of the most overlooked workflows in the profession, and it's held together by emails, spreadsheets, processes that frankly haven't changed in decades. Katherine started building Flo while she was still finishing her degree at the University of Texas to solve this very problem. Today, the platform connects law firms, law schools, students, and attorneys in one place, from recruitment through performance management, and is used by more than half of the AmLaw 100. Katherine, it's great to have you in studio.
Thank you so much, Gordon.
Let's start from the beginning. What did you see when you were finishing your degree, when you were at the University of Texas, that made you think this was worth building?
Oh man. Originally, the platform was designed to help any company manage their campus recruiting events. And we saw that opportunity because we were students ourselves going through the recruiting process and trying to stand out at events. We didn't actually stumble into the legal industry until we managed to get a recruiter at a large accounting firm to say that he would use the first version of the software. And naturally, the next step was to ask for a contract. And because we were students working on this, in our dorms, effectively, we didn't have a contract. I know how naive is it now to think about, but we called our friend who was a first year attorney at a law firm in Texas, Jackson Walker, and she helped us not look like complete fools in front of this recruiter. And most importantly, through that process, she started asking us questions about the product and really illuminating to us how important the talent is at a law firm, and therefore how critical recruiting and talent management is in the legal industry. And through that, we fell in love with what it's like to work at law firms when you're focused on the talent.
I love founding stories when you hear things like that. That's definitely gonna be one to remember. All right. So those that are not familiar with Flow today, what does the platform do, and what's the core problem it's trying to solve?
Yeah. So we offer talent management software to the legal industry. We actually serve many sides and stakeholders that are a part of the process. So for law firms, we offer applicant tracking, pipeline building, and performance management software that really helps them take their talent strategy from something that they're moving through the motions to a more strategic approach in how they're developing their attorneys to exist in what I think is the fastest changing legal market we've ever seen. What makes us unique, however, is that we also partner with law schools, search firms, students, and attorneys directly. They use our software to navigate their careers on the law school side to help their students actually land that coveted role, and on the search firm side to help more of the candidates that they're representing actually get placed. So that ecosystem approach is what I think has been a huge edge for us and has given more value to all of our clients.
It's interesting when you talk about those different participants in Flow, or clients and customers, and maybe there some have multiple of those kind of names. How do you think about, in this multi-sided market, like, who you're building for?
It's tough because we serve so many different stakeholders, but I think at the center of it all is the student who becomes the lawyer. So, really, at the end of the day, the lawyer, we think of them as first and foremost who we are serving. And around that are a full ecosystem and industry that is serving the success of the lawyer. And we try to build all of our software with that in mind. And I think that is what has also helped us stand out. When you think about the business professionals at a law firm trying to attract lawyers or develop them, the goal is to make sure that the law firm is producing value to its clients, and that's all about serving the lawyer. So if we can make it easy for the lawyer to navigate, it makes the success of the business professional or the business as a whole a lot easier to achieve.
And is it a traditional marketplace for you, in the sense that with more of each constituent, the value of the platform increases? How do you think about that?
Definitely. I mean, think about when a law firm is going to market to explain an opportunity that they have. If they can go to a place that they know has all of the lawyers and all of the law students that would be fantastic candidates for their role, that's extremely valuable for the law firm. it's also valuable for the lawyer who's navigating their career and trying to understand what is the difference between all of these different firms and different offices and different practice areas. And I think that that's more difficult than really meets the eye. And folks really underestimate the lack of brand awareness that I think many lawyers have in the legal market of who's who across so many firms that are all named last name, last name, and last name. I think that's much to the disappointment of the marketing teams at law firms, but it's the truth. And that's one of the reasons why it has become so much more powerful to have this connected ecosystem where law firms win, lawyers win, law schools win when it's connected and specific, 100% specific to the legal industry, not mixed in with every other type of professional.
Yeah. And I had an opportunity to dote on Flo a little bit in my preamble about the percentage of the AmLaw 100 that is now on your platform. Can you speak to that? And what do you think that means for where the industry is and kind of talent management and the talent journey?
Yeah, we've been really lucky to work with a lot of top law schools, with a lot of top lawyers and law students, and a lot of top law firms, and now new search firms as well. I think that what's interesting about the legal industry is that it's certainly an industry for, I don't know, any entrepreneurs listening on this that follows each other. So it's really hard to get in, to get the industry to trust you and to make those partnerships. But once you have a few under your belt, and we found once we land a partnership with a client, if we earn the trust and we continue to be great partners with them, then they're willing to continue to expand that relationship. So yeah, I think I would sum it up that way.
So you mean Flo was not an overnight success?
I wish, Gordon. Wouldn't that be awesome? Like an overnight success. I guess 6.5 years in the making. Sure.
Right. I think that's the way it always goes. Talk about the sales process a little bit. And, as you're selling the Flo platform, some people can talk about solutions being a nice to have or a need to have. How do you position Flo and well, we'll let you answer, but do you think it is a need to have?
I think that maybe 10 years ago, it was okay to stitch together spreadsheets or legacy systems to run your talent programs at a law firm, to start with them first. And uh, perhaps that was the case because the pace of change was not as great as it is now. Also, the pace of movement between law firms, we're seeing much higher volatility of lawyers moving between firms, or perhaps pessimistically, in other words, lower loyalty to the law firm that they work with. So maybe 10 years ago, it was okay to use a bunch of legacy systems or things that you were stitching together. But now the pace of change in the industry is so fast. Many of our law firms are trying to reinvent what their lawyers know to be their professions and how they serve the client in the dawn of all of these different AI tools that I think are making a huge change in how the law firm delivers value. And on top of that, like I mentioned, they're seeing one of the most volatile markets in legal talent that they've ever encountered. We're seeing firms and partners leave that have really never considered leaving the types of firms that they're at before. So with all of that, perhaps 10 years ago, Flo was around, it was a nice to have, and now it has really turned into a need to have. You have to have a strategy around up-leveling your lawyers and attracting the best lawyers and retaining those that are there. And if not, I think, will be eaten by your competitor who does have a strategy that they're executing on and continuing to push forward.
I love it. Katherine, let's change gears slightly. One of the things that I've been most impressed with about you and Flo is, I think, the intentionality with how you have built this business. And we think about all the constituents you serve today. That was not always the case, initially. And I think you've been very intentional about that build. You announced some really exciting news about some new products recently that take you out of just talent acquisition, but into talent management more broadly. And so I was hoping you could talk a little bit about that journey, and then more recently, why you're excited about some of these new product launches.
Yeah. So we did recently expand Flo from talent acquisition to talent management. We went from Flo Recruit to Flo to reflect that. and also rebranded to reflect, I think, the maturity of our audience. What once was a solution only focused on law students and law student hiring and law student career beginnings when we're serving the law schools is now a solution that over 60 law firms are using to run all of their lateral and partner hiring. And now we have law firms that have signed on to be the early innovators using our performance management product. So the reason why we invested in performance management is twofold. The first is that our clients have been asking for this for years. Pretty much since we started the business, they have been asking us, like, great, amazing, let's do recruiting, but we need talent management in the same platform. And the second reason that we built this is to serve the need that our law firms are recognizing, which is that a full talent strategy needs to reflect both how you bring lawyers into the firm and then how you measure the performance and development and serve them so that they can ultimately serve their clients. And so what we've done now with these two products in the same system is start to close the gap between firms understanding what is a good candidate as we bring them in and what does actually a top performing lawyer look like, and how do we make sure that we're looking for the right candidates that turn into top performing lawyers, not just looking at what we think might make a good lawyer. And it turns out when they're inside the firm, that might not pan out to be true.
Yeah. And maybe this is a good time to talk about maybe the product and the next level of depth a little bit. When you think about, the needs of a law student applying for their first job or internship, and, how you build the product for that individual versus now as well, like still serving that customer, but also, or that user, but now also the lateral hire, someone mid-career or partner level, the way that they may want to engage with the platform. And so how do you think about that from a product perspective? How do you build towards those different users at the same time?
It's certainly not easy, what we are, I think, executing on, because we are constantly thinking about the kind of the full career arc of a lawyer and how we serve them at every step through the stakeholders that we work with. As an example, we partner with law schools who use our software to help guide their students through their recruitment journey. And they do that by hosting interview programs, by looking at our law firm profiles that have unique information about what it's like to start your career at a firm so that a career counselor can guide the law student. And we also give those resources available directly to students for free, regardless of which law school they go to. The experience that the law student and the counselor has is centered around what does it look like to start your career at this firm? How do you get in the door? Where is a recruiting event that I can attend to try to distinguish myself against the sea of applicants that might be coming through? And then as that lawyer grows in their career, what's coming this summer actually inside Flo Forward, which is our lawyer and law student facing product, is that the content that we have about firms is starting to change. So for example, we're now serving judicial clerks who are looking for their first role after the judicial clerkship, which often happens to be at a law firm. And the things that a clerk cares about are very different than what they cared about as a first year law student. Now they're thinking about path to partnership. They're thinking about benefits. They are thinking about what does maternity leave look like. They are wondering what type of cases is the firm doing. They have a more refined understanding of what they want to do, and therefore what the firm that they hopefully land at should offer them. So in short, we have taken the approach of trying to customize the experience based on who the user is, rather than just like throwing everything that we possibly could at a law student when they begin and hoping that it makes sense for when they're a partner 13 years down the line.
And so you built this, with each of those users in mind, and again, not throwing the kitchen sink, but it all does now flow up to an entire platform. And now you need to go sell that into the market. I'd just be curious, like over the journey from Flo day zero to where you are today, how do you think the market has, continues to receive your platform and how you sell it? It's a very, I think recruiting and law firm recruiting in particular, very much a relationship driven industry. Is that still the case yeah, when you started the company today, and curious if you've seen any changes from the industry from that perspective.
100% it's a relationship business and a relationship opportunity. I think what has made us successful is that we have clients and users who believe in us, and that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen just because we put out like a nice marketing material or make our website look better. It happens because our approach to client conversations and to user conversations is to start by asking for feedback. Like, hey, we're thinking about this. We are interested in exploring X. We heard you talk about this problem and we've been ruminating on a solution that might work for you. And so we try, and I think everyone on our team is trained to do this, frankly, is to really listen to the customer and try to solve their problems and bring them along in creating the software versus just hoping that, I don't know, buying enough like LinkedIn or Google ads will make the difference. So perhaps in short, the way that we have grown in this industry is by building relationships, by asking for feedback and bringing along people in the journey of building the product rather than just trying to build in a vacuum and hoping that what we build might make sense for someone.
Yeah. And I think that approach has lent itself to, I would argue you have an impeccable reputation in the market and for what you've built and are doing for the industry. That being said, there's a team behind you that is building and helping and doing all these things. You scaled and you've added a number of team members over the past several years. Just curious if you can comment on, we're in an interesting market in legal tech. It's competitive out there for talent, but you seem to have gotten a team that has a shared mission for that kind of approach. And so just curious, any tips, tricks, or what you've done to kind of build that culture at Flo.
I think that's a difficult question because everyone on our team really contributes to that. And, in some cases, we've gotten really lucky. Like we've just stumbled into awesome people who I'm really grateful that we met. And I don't know if I have like the straight line answer for how we managed to meet all of these awesome people that work on our team. I think that our team, like bar none, is the best in the legal talent industry building technology. Like far and away, I'm so proud of what we're doing, and I'm so proud of the people that we have building this mission. And we are certainly not perfect, although thank you so much for hearing that we have a good reputation in the market. What I think makes a really big difference is that we try to center everything on the user and the customer. And something that I try my best to do and our team members try our best to do is anyone who's customer facing is often sharing clips of recordings from calls or direct quotes from customers or bringing on someone from our team that might be on the product or the engineering side to client calls. And the reason for that is that it's best heard from the user and from the client, but also it's really inspiring. It's like more fun to work when you see someone on the other end get so jazzed about the thing that you built. So as a small tactic, like in all hands meetings, we usually have a client recording of someone commenting on like, wow, this thing sucks, or this thing is amazing that you built. And I think that's what keeps the focus on we're here because our clients continue to think that what we're providing is valuable. So any of the other minutia that we could possibly be worried about we only get the privilege of worrying about those things because we have clients and users that use our product every day and continue to sign up and want to pay us. And without that, we're toast.
Love
So I
it.
think that focus
I
is what
mean,
drags us.
I love the passion, the maniacal focus on the clients and the user, and we see a lot of businesses out there, but certainly, I think what attracted us and myself to Flo was that purpose and kind of how you're building and what you want to accomplish here, and you can kind of feel that coming across the screen, which I think is important. So I'm sure it's the same feeling your clients and your prospective clients, hear and feel from you every day. So I love it. Catherine, let's wrap up with one last question. Want you to pull out the crystal ball. Want you to think about where Flo is going to be in 3 years and what you need to do to get there and what needs to be true about the market for you to accomplish that and let you take it wherever you want?
Yeah. I think in 3 years, because our clients will continue to have invested in our product and in the community and the ecosystem that we're building, we will definitely be the place, I think we already are, that all law students are going to navigate their careers for the first time, because we will have expanded from offering resources that help them navigate the law firm recruiting market into really every opportunity that they could take post law school. I think we'll also be the place that lawyers are going to think about what their career looks like and to navigate that next step. That's opening up right now. And I think in 3 years, we will have accomplished that mission. And finally, I think as a result of the investments that we're making in the product and the investments and advancements in AI models, we'll be able to bring to fruition the vision that we have for our law firm clients, which is that they will be able to know how their talent strategy is performing for them and how they need to support and develop their lawyers, because we have connected the information that they have inside performance management and talent acquisition and layered AI on top of it to be able to finally understand all of that information that's been locked in systems for way too long. So I'm super excited about the future. I think that this is a time of reinvention for many businesses and for the legal industry in general. And as always, those that reinvent themselves and get excited about what the future may look like have a huge opportunity to succeed. And I think we're a part of that.
That's awesome. Katherine, it's a pleasure to be partners with you here at the Legal Tech Fund and you and the entire Flo team. And thank you for joining us in studio today.
Thanks, Gordon.